Kristen Smart, a 19-year-old college student at California Polytechnic State University, disappeared on May 25, 1996 after attending a party. She was last seen with fellow student Paul Flores, who claimed he left her near her dorm. Despite extensive searches, including the use of cadaver dogs and ground-penetrating radar, her body was never found. The case went cold until 2021 when Paul Flores was arrested and charged with her murder, and his father, Ruben Flores, was accused of helping conceal her body. Both pleaded not guilty. The mystery persists as Kristen's remains have not been discovered, leaving questions about her final moments and where she might be buried. In 2006, the mysterious death of 32-year-old Rey Rivera in Baltimore, Maryland, left investigators puzzled and continues to intrigue true crime enthusiasts. Rivera, a newlywed and aspiring filmmaker, went missing on May 16th. His body was discovered 8 days later in a conference room of the Belvedere Hotel, an abandoned part of the building. The cause of death was ruled as undetermined due to the unusual circumstances. Rivera's body was found beneath a hole in the roof, suggesting he had fallen from a great height, but how he accessed the roof and the exact circumstances leading to his fall remain unclear. His cell phone and glasses were found intact nearby, adding to the mystery. Despite numerous theories, including foul play and suicide, no definitive answers have emerged, making Rey Rivera's death an enduring and chilling enigma. In 1969, the Zodiac Killer began a terrifying spree in Northern California, taunting police and the public with cryptic letters and ciphers sent to newspapers. The killer claimed responsibility for several brutal attacks, including the murders of 5 people and attempted murders of 2 others, although the true number of victims remains unknown. One of the most notorious attacks occurred on July 4, 1969, when Darlene Ferrin and Mike Mageau were shot in Vallejo. Mageau survived and provided a description of the attacker. The Zodiac's letters often included complex ciphers, some of which were solved, revealing chilling messages and demands for publicity. Despite extensive investigations, the Zodiac's identity remains a mystery. In 1953, the disappearance of Evelyn Hartley, a 14-year-old babysitter in La Crosse, Wisconsin, became one of the most chilling unsolved cases in American history. On October 24th, Evelyn was babysitting a young girl at a professor's house. When she failed to check in with her parents, her father rushed to the house and found signs of a struggle, a broken window, bloodstains, and Evelyn's scattered belongings. Despite extensive searches involving local volunteers, bloodhounds, and the FBI, no trace of Evelyn was ever found. Various clues, such as a bloody footprint and an unidentified vehicle seen in the area, provided no concrete leads. Theories have ranged from abduction to murder, but the mystery of what happened to Evelyn Hartley remains unsolved, haunting the community and investigators to this day. In 1947, Los Angeles was shaken by the mysterious death of Elizabeth Short, an aspiring actress later known as the Black Dahlia. Her body was discovered in a vacant lot, arranged in a way that suggested the work of someone with medical knowledge. The case drew massive media attention, leading to a plethora of tips, false confessions, and theories, but no solid leads. Investigators interviewed hundreds, including Short's acquaintances and prominent figures, but the mystery deepened with each turn. The Black Dahlia's enigmatic life and tragic end captivated the public, inspiring numerous books and films. Despite countless theories and extensive investigations, the identity of her killer remains one of America's most infamous unsolved mysteries. In 1957, the boy in the box case shocked Philadelphia and remains one of the city's most enduring mysteries. A boy was found inside a cardboard box in a rural area. Despite a widespread investigation and numerous theories, the boy's identity and the circumstances of his death were never determined. The case attracted attention from across the nation, with many trying to piece together clues from the boy's distinctive haircut and the specific box he was found in, which originally contained a bassinet sold by a local store. Decades later, this case remains a mystery, being one of the most haunting unsolved cases in American history. In 1981, the tranquil community of Keddie, California, was shaken by the brutal murders of the Sharp family in Cabin 28. On the morning of April 12th, 14-year-old Sheila Sharp returned home from a sleepover to discover a horrific scene. Her mother, Sue, brother John, and his friend Dana Wingate had been savagely killed. The victims suffered multiple stab wounds. Miraculously, Sheila's two younger brothers and their friend were found unharmed in another room. Despite the severity of the crime, the investigation was marred by missteps and remains unsolved. Various theories have emerged, including the involvement of local residents with criminal backgrounds and potential connections to drug trafficking. However, no arrests have been made, and the Ketty Cabin 28 murders remain a chilling and unresolved mystery. In 1982, Chicago faced a terrifying mystery when 7 people died after taking Tylenol capsules laced with cyanide. The victims ranged from a 12-year-old girl to a postal worker. The tampered bottles were traced back to various stores, causing nationwide panic and a massive recall of Tylenol products. Johnson & Johnson, the manufacturer, quickly responded by pulling 31 million bottles off the shelves and introducing tamper-proof packaging, setting new industry standards. Despite an intensive investigation, the person responsible for the poisonings was never found. The Tylenol murders remain unsolved, but they led to significant changes in how over-the-counter medications are packaged and sold, forever altering consumer safety practices in the United States. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 is one of the most perplexing aviation mysteries. On March 8, 2014, the Boeing 777 vanished en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, with 239 people on board. Despite extensive searches over vast areas of the Indian Ocean, only a few pieces of debris have been found, and the main wreckage remains elusive. Investigations revealed the aircraft deviated from its planned route, but the reasons behind this change remain unknown. Speculations range from mechanical failure to hijacking or deliberate actions by someone on board. The lack of conclusive evidence and the mystery of what led to the disappearance continue to baffle experts and haunt the families of those lost. In 1996, Boulder, Colorado, was gripped by the tragic and mysterious death of 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey, a beauty pageant contestant. On Christmas morning, JonBenet was found dead in the basement of her family's home, 8 hours after her parents discovered a ransom note demanding $118,000. The note was unusually long, and suspicion initially fell on her parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, as well as her older brother, Burke. The investigation was marred by missteps, including contamination of the crime scene. Various theories emerged, ranging from an intruder to family involvement, but no definitive evidence pointed to a clear suspect. DNA testing in 2008 cleared the Ramseys of suspicion, but the case remains unsolved. I was deep in sleep when I suddenly woke up feeling something touching my arm. Groggy, I opened my eyes to see a masked man inches from me. I screamed, but he covered my mouth. He told me that he only wanted my brother's backpack. If I give it to him, he would leave. Trying to calm down, I managed to tell him I didn't have a brother. The man stared at me, confused. At that moment, I noticed that 3 other masked men stood at the door, and one spoke.
"That's not Sophia."
Realization hit them. They bolted from my room, running out of my house. I called the police immediately. To this day, I never found out who they were or why they were there. One evening, I was home alone, watching TV. Suddenly, a completely white cat appeared in my living room. The cat was unnaturally white, almost glowing. Curious, I approached it, but the cat made low, menacing noises. Panicking, I ran outside, hoping the cat would follow. But it didn't. I went back inside, but the cat had vanished. I searched everywhere but found nothing. Relieved but puzzled, I resumed watching TV. 30 minutes later, I heard the low growl again. The white cat reappeared, glaring at me. Fear took over, and I ran outside again. The cat stayed inside, unmoving. Hesitantly, I re-entered the house, and again, it was gone. I searched thoroughly, checking windows and vents. The cat was nowhere. Baffled, I returned to my movie, eyes darting around. The cat never showed up again. To this day, I don't know how it entered or left the house. In 1999, the mysterious death of 41-year-old Ricky McCormick in St. Louis, Missouri, baffled authorities. His body was discovered in a cornfield 20 miles from his home, with no clear cause of death. What made the case particularly perplexing was the discovery of 2 encrypted notes in Ricky's pockets, filled with indecipherable codes and random letters. The FBI and cryptologists worldwide have attempted to crack the code, but it remains unsolved. Ricky, who had a limited education and health issues, was not known to have any expertise in cryptography. Theories about his death range from foul play to involvement in illegal activities, but no definitive answers have been found. The cryptic notes and unexplained circumstances surrounding Ricky McCormick's death continue to intrigue and puzzle investigators. One night, I sat on the couch with a book when I heard a faint beeping from the kitchen. It was my microwave. Its clock was blinking 12 o'clock. I reset it and returned to my book. Minutes later, the beeping echoed again. The clock was blinking again. Maybe a power surge, but everything seemed normal. Later, I heard rhythmic tapping from upstairs. My heart pounded. Gathering courage, I went upstairs to check. The tapping came from the bathroom. I found the room empty, but tightening the dripping faucet stopped the tapping. As I reached the bottom step, the microwave beeped again. I ran to the kitchen, and the clock was blinking again. At that moment, I heard my front door close. I checked around, but the street was silent and empty. I wonder if there was someone else at my house that night. I still don't know what caused those sounds. Years ago, home alone, I heard a knock at the back door. No one ever used that door. A tall man stood outside. I called out to him and he claimed to be from the gas company, needing to check our gas. My husband and I had no issues with our gas service, so I questioned him. He insisted, saying he needed to visit every resident. On that moment, he grabbed the doorknob, trying to open it. I held a knife tight, repeating there was no need for him, but he persisted. Then, I asked for his name to call his supervisor, then he right away apologized and left. When my husband returned, we called the gas company. They had no one in our area. We asked neighbors and no one had a visit. To this day, I wonder who he was and what his real intentions were.